go on, can we take the yes, please, so that we will, yes, so that we'll be able to manage the time. Thank you. Just hold on to them. Yes, I have you are on. Wooly is on. Yes. Sorry. Tumana, you can continue.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. First of all, I would like to thank the committee for the very good job that they have done yesterday in trying to prepare this document for us today to deal with it. And again, I would also like to equally join my honorable colleague, Honorable Kian Central, in trying to ask certain questions to the Honorable Minister, and if there are some answers so that they can see the public outcry that 90 days is just too much. And again, I was with the thinking that if the 90 days can be justified, because in the country, we have 4 cases. 1 died, remaining 3. 2 were discharged from the hospital, remaining 1. Unless if there were some hidden agendas, that we still have some people that still have the virus. But if that is not the case, I don't think 90 days, honestly, is feasible. So for the committee to come up with 45 days, I really agreed with that on that 45 days. And again, I just want to know, if I may ask this question, what are the measures government is putting in place to guarantee food security in the country during these 45 days? Because this is something that we have to look at. Most of the people in our constituencies, after the rainy season, they will only have 3 or 4 months food in their stores. So the moment that the government cannot guarantee that there is going to be food security in the country, that will be very serious. We are running from coronavirus, we're getting into malnutrition and stuff like that. So that will be very serious. And again, I wanted to know how many testing or isolating and treatment centers do we have in the country? And if we have them, how equipped are they? Because I was in my constituency, there is a particular place, there is no need to mention it, but then even the thermometer that we'll use to record the temperatures of the suspected cases is not even available. So they are trying to use the one that is for the clinic on the suspected cases, and that will be very serious. Instead of preventing, we are creating another trouble for the people. So these are some of the things that we will have to look into, because if we have isolation centers and there are not enough materials, that will be very serious. And again, as far as this COVID-19 is concerned, what significant packages will you provide for families that are going to be affected? This is very, very key. We have to look into this again. The other thing will be, what incentive will you give to the landlord in order for them to reduce rent? Because most of the people that will be affected are those that are feeding from hand to mouth. So the moment they are not going to these lumos market to earn their daily sustenance, it will be very difficult for them to be paying their landlords on these rent. So if government can come up with some incentives whereby even if they are going to subsidize or even pay for those people that are going to be affected, because not everybody receive a monthly salary at the end of every month. So there are 1,001 people out there who cannot sustain themselves. They are even struggling to put a meal on the table for their families, much more paying rent. So if government can also look into this, since we heard that there are some other there are some monies already in the country. So again, the other issue is, when I went around my constituency, the biggest issue that we have is the issue of these borders. Up to now, is totally different. And it's the Senegalese that are coming into the country on a daily basis. And this is something that we have to look into. This did not stop. People are coming in their large numbers on a daily basis. So if we cannot still protect our people, those that are living around the border ends, it's going to be very serious. As a country, we wanted to control it, but the way and the manner it is going to be, it's going to be very serious. So we have to look into this. And the sensitization aspect that the honorable member made mention is very key, because when I went there, again, people were even telling me that, they did not believe in this coronavirus. They still don't believe that this exists. In fact, I even have to call the chairperson of this health committee that we need to do something very urgent about this, especially in the URR. People still don't believe that this coronavirus existed. So if we cannot change the mindset of those people, the attitude of those people towards this pandemic or this coronavirus is going to be very serious. Even if we have 3 years state of emergency, it's just going to kill us like flies. So it's better we take another measures. Maybe the Ministry of Health, they are really trying, because during the course of my tour, I was with them. Public health officers, the CHNs, in fact, the community development. There is another agency, Tumana Agency for Development, and again, there are some students at the University of Uganda who also volunteer to come to URR to help to fight this coronavirus. But again, the belief that people have, they will ask me, okay, all those people that are tested positive for coronavirus, they are all coming from the outside the country. None of them is within the country. So the other thing will be, can we see the dead body of those that have been killed by the coronavirus? So this is something that we have to look at. The modality has to change, because up to now people don't believe that this coronavirus existed. So we have to look into that. The other question that I want to ask is, during saving from travel during this period, how would we spend that money? I believe there must be some savings during this period. I wanted us to take that money and use it to fight this coronavirus. There must be some savings during this period, because right now nobody's traveling. Even if I am called SM's Brussels, at this point in time, traveling is not feasible for me. I cannot travel. So there must be some savings out of that. So I believe we can use this money, some part of it, to fight against coronavirus, or to help the Ministry of Health in fighting the coronavirus. And again, some part of it again, to give it to our farmers, or keep it for the farmers, because after this coronavirus, we are getting into the rainy season. So we must put that at the back of our mind. I think with these few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I will want to stop here. But there is one thing that I also look at. That is the Essential Commodities Emergency Power Regulation 2020. I was just going through the prices. Then, when I was going through this last night, I was just in my house laughing at myself. Because to me, this was very funny. Before the government come up with the price ceiling, the prices of some of these particular essential commodities like 100% broken rice. In my village or in my constituency, there were some shops that were selling for $1,100, $1,050, $1,150. But immediately after this was mentioned, or it was announced, all the businessmen were just trying to rush to catch up the price that was set by the government, $1,250. I mean, to me, it was not fair. I think we should have looked into this issue before, giving our own price ceiling. Because right now, people are badly affected. Because at this point in time, people have the anticipation that there is going to be a rise in the price of the commodities. So right now, everybody is just rushing to buy. When the government made that announcement, now that you know, the businessmen also capitalized, just overnight, $100 was added. Or just overnight, $150 was added to the price. So this is something that we should have just looked at it before saying anything. And again, looking at the prices, again, those that are within Banjul and KMC, you look at the variances in terms of price. $1,150 is for 100% broken rice, and $1,200 for KMC for the 100% broken rice. Again, it is the people of URR, the poor people, that are paying for the huge amount of money, $1,250. And again, if they buy this broken rice in Basse, they have to transport it into their various communities or to their various households. So again, the price will not only stop at $1,250, but if time is not even taken, I even know of some of the shops that are selling this commodity for $1,350. Some are selling for more than $1,400. So these are some of the issues that we have to look into. Most of the people that can pay for this price are living within the greater Banjul area. And most of the people that are suffering are living in the hinterland of this country. Most especially the people of URR and Tumana in particular. So we have to look into this issue. Tumana is just the second last constituency going out of the Gambia. I'm bothered with my honorable friend. But again, these are the communities that are badly affected when it comes to this pricing of these commodities. So these are some of the things that we have to look into. And again, any money that comes into this country, there should be a monitoring team from this parliament. Every single budget of that money have to be used for the purpose it is meant for. No money should be diverted for the purpose it is meant for. There should be no embezzlement. People should not capitalize on this moment and want to enrich themselves. Let us make sure that the people on the ground are suffering. There are 1,001 people out there who cannot put a food on the table for their families. Right now they are struggling. If you go out there, the public outcry that you're seeing are some of the things that are coming out from the people. So we should not capitalize on the system in regardless of your position, not the president, not the parliament, not the ministers, whosoever is working in the civil service of this country. You should not capitalize on this system, on the entire thing, and you want to enrich yourself. The money is not meant for you. It is meant for the poor people of this country. So we should make sure that we give devils its due. The poor people are out there suffering. So the parliament is there to represent those poor people who are our electorates. Let's make sure that every single budget of this money is meant, if it is meant for this purpose, we make sure that it is meant for the purpose. But the money should not be diverted into our private pockets. And there should be a monitoring team in this parliament. We should not leave everything in the hands of the executive. They are not representing the people on the ground. We are the people who are representing. We can wipe the tears of our people. So we make sure that we follow every single budget. We monitor everything. No money should be diverted and put into individual pockets. It is meant for the poor people. On that note, Honorable Speaker, thank you so much.